Hey Owen, how are you doing today?
Good.
Do you know why you're here?
Well, I know that sometimes I get mad in class a lot, and that bothers my teachers and my parents.
That's right. Today we're going to talk about some things to do that will help you calm down in class to stay away from feeling like you're playing a game of emotional twister, making your feelings bigger and bigger. How does that sound?
Great.
Today I want to talk to you about the idea of a thinking trap. Sometimes when we feel a lot of strong emotions, our minds try to make sense of what's going on, and we'll make a judgment even if we don't have all the details or facts about the situation. This can sometimes get us into trouble because we're reacting to something that we assumed is true, but might not be. There are a few different types of common thinking traps, but today I want to talk to you about one called jumping jack. In this thinking trap, we get caught making a conclusion that might not be true. Often we end up thinking something really bad is going to happen, even if the chances of that happening are low. In these situations, we have to become detectives. We have to put on our detective caps in order to search around for clues to tell us if what we are thinking really makes sense for the situation. When we use our detective thinking, our goal is to have more flexible thinking, which means that we want to see the situation from more than one perspective. Can you think of a time recently when you got caught in a thinking trap?
Well, last week I didn't know how to do my math worksheet in class because there were so many problems and it was really scary. So I didn't really know where to start.
Yeah, sometimes when we're worried, it can feel like we don't know where to start, and it's scary to ask for help. Can you explain to me your thoughts and feelings from that situation in terms of a thinking trap?
Okay, so when I got the worksheet, there were so many questions I didn't know how to do, which made me feel really worried because I thought I would get a bad grade if I didn't do them. But I was also scared to ask my teacher for help because we had just learned it in class. So it felt like I was supposed to know it.
Hmm. What was your jumping jack in that situation?
Well, I thought that if I didn't get a lot of the questions on the worksheet right, I would get in trouble with my teacher and get a bad grade. So I guess I was worried that I made myself think about getting in trouble, even though no one really gets in trouble if they don't finish their worksheet in class.
That was a really reflective comment. Thank you so much. Actually, I think that you use some detective thinking skills without even realizing it. Let's learn some more about detective skills. So there are three main detective thinking skills: stop, slow, and go. Stop means to pause ourselves before we move further into the situation. Slow means looking for evidence or clues to see if our original feeling is the right amount for the situation. Now that we have all of our clues, we can use our go skill, which means double checking our thoughts to see how likely it is that they will happen. I think this will be much easier and more clear if we use an example. Would you be able to give me another example of a thinking trap you've had recently?
I don't know if this is right, but at the same time that I was having trouble with my math worksheet, I got really mad at my teacher and I yelled at her for forcing me to do the worksheet.
Okay. Can you explain that situation to me in terms of a thinking trap?
Well, I was worried about the worksheet and it made me mad because I felt like my teacher knew that I didn't know how to do all of them, but she was making me do them anyway. So I guess my jumping jack was that because she assigned the worksheet, I thought she was forcing me to do something I didn't know how to do, and that would be hard for me.
Yeah. Well, great job pointing out that jumping jack. Now let's walk through how we would use our stop, slow, and go skills in this situation so we wouldn't make a jumping jack. Let's start with our stop skill. Can you help me figure out what we would need to do for our stop skill in this situation?
Well, I could pause and think about why I'm angry towards my teacher. I was angry towards her for making me do a worksheet I didn't know how to do, and I thought she was purposefully making me do it to give me a hard time.
Thank you for identifying that. What do you think comes next?
The slow skill.
Great. Can you tell me about how you would slow in this situation?
Well, I would have to think if my jumping jack was true or not. Like, is it true that she was forcing me to do the math worksheet just to see me struggle?
That's a really great start. Do you think you can tell me what you think would come next if you think she was not trying to just make you upset?
Um, well, maybe I can ask myself if it's 100% true, because I sort of think it's just her job to make us do these worksheets in order to teach us.
Great job, Owen. Can you remember what happened if there was a time maybe you or your classmates didn't finish a worksheet in the past?
Well, I actually remember a few times where my friends didn't finish and she didn't get them in trouble. She wasn't even mad.
These are great slow thoughts. If we were to use our go skill now, what would our slow thoughts lead us to think?
Well, probably that my teacher won't get mad at me if I don't finish, so I shouldn't be worried.
That's right. Would you be able to think of another slow thought that could help you in this situation?
Um, my teacher is a really nice lady, so she's probably just trying to do her job, and she probably is not making me do the worksheet just to see me struggle.
That's another really great thought. I would love to practice flexible thinking now. Do you remember what flexible thinking means?
Yeah, I think that you said that it means seeing a situation without having any strong feelings attached.
Yeah, that's awesome you remember that, Owen. That's exactly what it means. Using your detective thinking skills to see the situation without any strong emotions leading to it. Using your flexible thinking, could you think of something else you could have done in the situation besides for maybe using your loud voice?
Well, I maybe could have asked for help instead of yelling at her.
That is a really great solution, Owen. Why do you think that asking for help is a good choice?
Because then it doesn't really make my teacher feel bad. And then I can also finish my worksheet without worrying about getting in trouble because if I ask, she'll help me.
You did such a great job identifying your thinking traps and your stop, slow, and go skills in situations where you were both worried and mad. Now, when you feel these emotions or other strong emotions, you can use your skills to slow yourself down and find some clues about the situations before you act.
Thanks.
Of course.